I'm terrible. I keep doing that. I'm just kidding. It's the second time I do it. 2.1 is what we're going to talk about. Before I go on, I do want to talk about the worked example. Of course, highlight 0, x plus 4. Pretty interesting, only because bringing back out the iPad, one of our zeros is -4. So, why would they say x plus 4? Well, because, and it looks weird, and it even says right here, we just saw it's it's -40. They changed it into that because we have to set our x value to 0. Okay, now let me show you that real fast. So, because my x value is -4, I know it's x equals -4, just like how it says right here. Of course, we could always do all this worked out stuff, but why not just make this right side 0 by adding 4, -4 plus 4. This gives me 0. So now I have 0 on the right side, and then x plus 4 just stays as x plus 4. And there is where we get it, okay? So we can do this, which is what we're gonna practice as well, but we want it to be recognized that because that's my 0, the name is the x-intercept. Again, let me write that down. The x-intercept, which is called our 0. Make sure you know that word. That's how it's written in factored form. Let me just write that down also. This is our factored form. A lot of intense notes, okay? Jump into, hold on, let me make sure I don't skip anything real fast. Number 2 is actually talking about what's the other 0, because right here is 1 0 that we already talked about. What's this one? Let's bring out Desmos real fast. Desmos. The other 0 is right there. Hopefully you can see it. 1.5 comma 0. Let me write that down. Okay, so because Q of X is 1.5 comma 0, I know this is X. So I'm gonna set that equal to X. And of course, we want a 0 on the side. So opposite of positive is to subtract it on both sides. Give me 1 second. Let me check something. Apologies. 1.5 minus 1.5 creates that 0. Now we have 0, x minus 1.5. Now, we don't like decimals, so I'm going to have to talk about this decimal in just a second. But definitely know that this is my other factor form. Because if we talk about this statement, d of x times q of x equals my h of x. If we get the first one, x plus 4 times x minus 1.5, we should get h of x. Now, what is h of x? If you go back to the top, h of x is that 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. So this mumbo jumbo should give me 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. But we need to do one more little thing. Don't worry about letter B, because that's just talking about this stuff right here. Okay, a lot of information that was a little lengthy. Let's see how much we have for 2.1. Not a lot, kind of a lot, but this is where it's going to be the good stuff. Now, these are for my geniuses. You want to learn long division because you will definitely use this in college. Obviously, if you're going to college and you're still not feeling a little motivated, trust me, you'll be able to do it in a couple days or two. promise. So to solve this, we can use the zero product property to determine the zeros, which means substituting x, boom, 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 you find your zeros. Now, they gave us the answer right here. But sir, oh, okay, this is a completely different thing. But they gave us the answer right there. We have our two factored forms from whatever function they gave us, okay? If 2 is a factor 24, that looks like a bunch of gibberish, so don't worry about it. And this is where the monster stuff is about to happen. Polynomial long division. I'm hoping we all can divide. We've been taught how to divide since probably elementary, okay? Work that example. This is the elementary version. That's how you were taught in elementary. If you weren't taught this in elementary, I don't know where you went to school, but we need to figure out how you can catch up really fast. This is our high school part. Now, I don't like the way they have it because I know you can be right here, but a lot of us are going to have a little bit of difficulty reading this to ourselves just because this is a little bit higher than what we expected you to do. So, grab a sheet of paper. We're going to work out this problem together because I need us to understand 100% what we're talking about here. Okay? Let me move this up. Let me write down the equation real fast. Not the equation, I'm sorry. The function being divided by a factor. So right here, the question is this actually a factor? Because we found out it's a factor because from Desmos, but we want to arithmetically figure it out and make sure 100% that it is. So let me write that down. 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 divided by x plus 4. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit, guys, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be a little bit, so be patient. Here we go, rocking and rolling, rocking and rolling. First step, we want to make sure we know that we're dividing, so we're gonna make that little box to show division. What goes inside our dividend? Our dividend is 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. Of course, don't be afraid to pause. This is a video. You definitely want to intake every piece of information as possible. Gonna do my divisor over here on the left hand side. And now we're trying to find out the other root, which we already know is 1.5. But we're gonna figure out if that's actually what it is. Here we go. So, how do I divide? I need to multiply something times x to give me 2x squared because I need this to cancel out to 0. Hopefully you remember this is a 1. So we should be able to at least say, okay, sir, I know it's 2 times 1 to give me 2. Perfect. Next, let's do this in a different color. Next, 2 times x just gives me x, and I need it to be a little square. So I need to include another x right here because 2x times 1x creates that second power right there. And because I already found this first piece of information, then I just do it to the 4. 2 times 4 is 8, positive. There's only one x, so we keep that x. And now we take this and subtract it because we always subtract in division. Let's do it. 2 minus 2, that's 0. Beautiful. 5 minus 8, I'm not sure. I'm going to double check. 5 minus 8, negative 3. Negative 3x. This is left over. We got to bring it down. Okay. Now I need to use a number to multiply to 1x to give me negative 3x. Well, to make it negative, I need to multiply by a negative number, and something times 1 gives me 3. Hopefully you're saying 3 to yourself. Negative 3 times 1 gives me that negative 3. I don't need an x here because there's already an x right here. So negative 3 times x gives me that x that I need. Next, negative 3 times 4 does give me that negative 12. And what do you notice? It's the exact same thing. So when I subtract this, negative 3 minus negative 3, that cancels out. That's 0. Negative 12 minus another negative 12, that also cancels out, which is 0. And this is what we want. Because what is this called? My zero of the graph. So we did indeed find our two factors. But sir, that does not look like 1.5. Check it out. Show you real fast. So I'm going to take 2x minus 3 and set it to 0 because that's one of our zeros. And we're going to solve for x. First step, add 3 to both sides. Of course, don't forget to pause. Plus 3, plus 3. These 3's cancel. 0 plus 3 is just 3 equals, bring down the 2. How do I get rid of this 2? It's multiplication, which is married. Gotta divorce it, sorry. Divide by 2, divide by 2. That cancels. Got x equals 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Shut the front door. So, we don't want our answer to include decimals. We want it to be in factor form 100%. I'm gonna highlight this. I'm already scared it's gonna smudge, or I'll just circle it. These are our factored forms. Okay. Last video, you were supposed to be able to do this. If I took the factor form of 1x plus 4, and I got 2x minus 3, I should be able to multiply this using the box. And if you multiply it, you get this answer, okay? If you start multiplying it, you should get that answer that's on the top. So, take a moment to reflect. We did long division to find out that this is a 0, which is the other factor. We proved that it is indeed 1.5, which is what we had on Desmos. And if I take my two highlighted factored forms and I multiply them, I should get exactly what I had in the beginning. A lot of great math. Definitely intake it, pause it, do what you need to do. I'm gonna stop right here and make part 2 of this video. Please make sure you can do this.